Next time I'll be stronger. Rafael Nadal's intense practice session with rising star Alexandra Eala. Rafael Nadal's intense practice session with rising star Alexandra Eala. ****. The sun over Mallorca had not yet reached its peak, but the clay courts at the Rafa Nadal Academy were already alive with tension, not the stressful kind. Rather, the kind you feel before a storm when the air buzzes with possibility. Coaches whispered. Ball kids exchanged excited glances. Something big was happening today, but only a handful of people knew what. Rafael Nadal was back on court. He wasn't competing. His official retirement was still etched in every headline, every commentary booth, every fan's memory. The world had already cried their tears and applauded his legacy. He had nothing left to prove. But champions don't simply stop. They transform. And today, Nadal wasn't here to win a title. He was here for something more meaningful. He was here to train with someone who reminded him of his younger self. Someone hungry, someone fearless, someone rising. Her name was Alexandra Eala, the invitation that shook the academy. When Alex received a message 3 days earlier, she stared at her phone as if it had just offered her a dream on a silver platter. Training session. Thursday, 8 a.m. Court 3. Rafa. Her jaw nearly hit the floor. Rafa himself? Not his coaches. Not an assistant. Not a generic academy schedule. Rafael Nadal wanted to hit with her. Alex didn't sleep much that night, or the next. Her mind replayed every match she'd watched of him, every forehand whip, every fist pump, every epic rally that defined 2 decades of tennis. She arrived an hour early, warming up with drills she'd done 1,000 times, but today her hands trembled slightly. She tried hiding it, but the clay never lies. When Rafa walked in, at exactly 7:58 a.m., the sound of rhythmic footsteps approached Court 3. Rafa entered, calm, steady, unmistakable. His presence didn't need announcement. It filled the space instantly. He still looked powerful, even though he wasn't chasing trophies anymore. His steps were lighter now, his smile easier, his shoulders more relaxed. But the eyes burned with the same competitive fire that once silenced stadiums. Buenos dias, Alex. He greeted her warmly. Buenos dias, Rafa. She managed, hoping her voice didn't crack. He picked up one of her tennis balls, bounced it twice. Feeling the weight. You've improved, he said. But today we push harder. Alex nodded. She was ready. At least she thought she was. The intensity begins. Rafa never eased anyone into training, not even himself. He started with baseline rallies, not gentle ones, but full power, heavy topspin, forehand-to-forehand exchanges that made Alex slide across the clay like she was in a Grand Slam quarterfinal instead of a private session. Rafa's shots were brutal. Even retired, his forehand still had the ferocity of thunder. Alex grunted as she returned each ball, her shoes kicking up clouds of red dust. Sweat trickled down her neck. Her lungs fought for air. Still, Rafa didn't slow down. He pushed her wider, deeper, faster. It wasn't bullying, it was teaching. This was the intensity that molded champions. The intensity that had made Rafa himself an icon. And Alex was absorbing every second. The first break. After 20 relentless minutes, Rafa held up a hand. Alex collapsed onto her bench, laughing breathlessly. Rafa smirked. You're doing well. Very strong from the backhand today. Alex wiped sweat from her forehead. Thank you. I didn't expect you to hit that hard. He lifted an eyebrow. I am retired, not weak. She burst out laughing, but his eyes softened. This is good for you. Matches will feel easier after this. Alex nodded. She already felt changed, as if her game had lifted a full level in just minutes. The power drill, test of will. Then Rafa proposed something crazy. Let's do the full court sprint drill. Alex froze. That drill was legendary. Terrifyingly legendary. Players joked it should be banned for safety reasons. Rafa tossed 2 balls onto the ground and positioned himself at the baseline. I hit anywhere, he said. You run for everything. No breaks for 3 minutes. Alex blinked. 3 minutes straight? Rafa shrugged casually. In matches, Pressure doesn't wait. The next thing she knew, he unleashed chaos. Drop shots, deep lobs, angled balls, body shots, cross-court bullets. Alex sprinted like her life depended on it. Her legs burned, her lungs screamed, but each time she barely reached the ball, Rafa nodded approvingly. He wasn't trying to humiliate her. He was teaching her how to survive under fire. At the final second, she dove, literally dove, for a forehand and somehow got it back. Rafa burst into applause. "That is champion energy," he said proudly. Alex collapsed to the clay, laughing and breathless. "I can't feel my legs." "You will tomorrow," Rafa joked. Tactical mastery, Rafa's secret lesson. Once she recovered, Rafa went into tactical mode. He walked her across the court, replaying moments from their rallies. "You hesitated here," he said, pointing at the left corner. "Your first instinct was defense, not attack." Then he guided her to the middle. "Here, you should step in. Don't fear the risk. You control the point." Alex absorbed every word like scripture. Then Rafa said something she would never forget. "Tennis is not about power. It is about courage. Your legs at the ball, but your heart wins a match." Alex's eyes widened. This was a mentorship players dreamed of, personal, profound, transformative. A mini-set that changed her life. "Let's play," Rafa suddenly declared. "A set," Alex asked. "No scoring," he smiled. "Just pressure." They played points, real match points. Alex gave everything she had. Winners, angles, deep drives. But Rafa was Rafa. Even retired, he controlled the rhythm. He moved her around like a chess piece. A coaching moment for the ages. As they cooled down, Rafa offered one final piece of wisdom. Strength isn't only in the body. Strength is waking up after losing points like that and saying, "I'm not done." Alex nodded, eyes shining. "I'll train harder," she said. "I'll be ready next time." Rafa smiled with the calm certainty of a man who'd seen thousands of players try and fail, but recognized something different in her. "I know you will." The legend and the rising star. When they walked off the court, people watching whispered. That looked like a Grand Slam match. Alex held her own against Rafa. "He still has it, doesn't he?" "She's going to be huge." Alex heard them all, but she didn't bother responding. She had only one sentence repeating in her mind. "Next time I'll be stronger." Not because she lost points to Rafa, but because Rafa showed her what greatness felt like up close. She wanted to feel that again. She wanted to earn it, and she would. This training session wasn't just intense. It wasn't just inspiring. It was a passing of fire, from a legend whose career shaped an era to a rising star whose journey was just beginning. Alex walked away exhausted, trembling, drenched in sweat, but smiling, because she knew that today she didn't just train with Rafael Nadal. She learned from him, suffered beside him, grew because of him. And one day, perhaps sooner than the world expects, she will return to that same court stronger, faster, braver, ready for the rematch she promised herself. Thank you for watching. Please don't forget to hit the subscribe button, like and share. Till next time.